Hello, and welcome to another edition of Elizabeth Burnt This and That.
Welcome back. I'm doing a review of The Cosmic Man. And The Cosmic Man was written in 1959. It was an independently produced B sci-fi movie that was made at the dawn of the space age. It was distributed by the US by Allied Artists and in the UK by Associated British Pathé. It was shot in Los Angeles, where the Griffith Observatory was used for the Pacific Institute of Technology, and on-site at Griffith Park. The plot centers on an odd UFO sighting and the Cosmic Man himself with a message of peace and prosperity. It's similar to the day that the Earth stood still, but the Cosmic Man, disguised as a human, heals the handicapped boy at the end, and he's able to walk. It's predictable, but some of the science is abhorrently wrong. They were using Star Trek sound effects before Star Trek existed.
That's true.
The Cosmic Man is feared and unfortunately is killed at the end. Normally, movies with aliens end this way, which is a little sad. But it's corny, schlocky, but it's not the worst bad movie I've ever seen. I would give it at least 2 or 3 stars out of 5. It wasn't fantastic and it wasn't awful. Mediocre, but entertaining.
And it followed that thread of the military only wants war
right,
and to kill
and
people.
They're violent.
That stereotype.
There were a lot of
military
stereotypes, right.
And the scientists being, honorable
right,
and wanting to do the right thing.
Of course, and helping humanity, because the Cosmic Man actually came to deliver his message to the scientists. Says, you need to deliver this message, you need to help humanity, or something to that effect. I'm paraphrasing. I don't remember what exactly he said, but it was along the road of, you need to advance, you need to help people advance.
Yeah, it's a little corny, when
Yeah.
you've got a young boy like 10 years old,
Right.
and he's giving the scientists some advice, and
Right.
we didn't think of that.
Right, sure.
It's like, oh my gosh. So
yeah, and
really,
a lot of the
and what year did this
machinery.
movie? What year did it come out? It had to be late 50s.
1959,
Okay.
because you hear talk of Korea, of the Korean War, and it was at the very beginning of the space age, because we hadn't reached the moon yet.
Yeah.
But it was still.
We were still trying to get, heavy lift rockets off the
Yes,
ground.
right,
We were using
right.
ballistic missiles to try and get to space, and it wasn't working, and the Soviets were kicking our butt.
Right.
And then, that was, I think, the year probably that Sputnik came over. It was 58 or
because
59.
you could see that there was a little bit of that kind of fear.
And you had people here, ham radio operators listening to shortwave radios,
Sure.
listening to Sputnik going beep, 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 overhead. And
People
people
were
were
terrified.
terrified that, they could drop a nuke on us
course.
from that, satellite that's overhead. The knowledge base just wasn't there. It took a lot of CBS News and television coverage of the space
course.
program for people to actually, kind of get a feel for what's
Right.
going on. and
I
understand
personally like the
science.
history involved, and I love old movies like this. And it was film noir, which I also adore film noir.
And explain film noir for those.
Film
less
noir, for
educated.
those who are uninitiated, is basically black and white film.
So that's film noir. That's a
Film-
fancy name for black and white.
It's just a
Or
fancy way to say
monochrome.
black and white film. And actually, this one, I don't know if it was the first one that you could actually hear people, because I'm certain that probably existed a little bit before that, but who knows. Like I said, it was low budget, and had it had a bigger budget, it probably could have done a lot better than what it did.
The way you can tell it's low budget is the rooms are small. You've
Yeah,
got
the
like
rooms
4
are
military
small.
guys with their little desks
Sure.
all crammed into the same room, playing with
And then
their
that
radio
the radar detector, the little blip on the radar
Yeah,
detector. Then you see
and
the
that's not what radar looked like back
Yeah,
then.
I know. That's how it looked back then.
So,
and they
but-
mentioned UNIVAC, which I thought was interesting.
What I enjoy is
Kind of funny.
it gives you the perspective of what did space and technology and science look like through the eyes of the masses in the 1950s.
In that time, right. It's a
So
time
in a way, it's like
capsule.
stepping back in time a
Sure.
little bit.
Absolutely.
A voyage of history, in a sense, to see what people really thought, during that time period.
And that's what makes old films so fascinating, I think.
Another good one to watch, which I may have to have you watch. I think
What
you've
is
seen
it?
it once. Robinson Crusoe
I've
on
seen it.
Mars. I believe it was
I like that movie.
either 64 or 66.
Yes,
It was a 1960s
it's a
sci-fi.
good one. It's a good one. It's another one that's MST3K worthy.
Yeah, and it's a great movie. It's one of my all-time favorites. I just think it was so well done for its
For
time
its
period.
time.
You know, it was done like a movie maybe done in the late 70s or early 80s.
Sure.
That kind of quality. Not
Right.
just talking, film quality. It was color movie. But as far as the story quality and not having that weird 1950s, 1960s sci-fi feeling about it.
Yeah. And this used the theremin, so the theremin was very common in B movies
And explain what a theremin
caliber,
is.
right? So you hear the woo in the background.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Explain what a theremin is.
Theremin is an instrument. It's a very strange instrument, and they play it by they move particles, and you move your hand. But I don't know if they auto-tune them now. I'm not for sure how
No,
it
the
works,
way a
but
theremin works
it's
is
weird.
if you've got like a radio receiver
Oh,
and you
yeah.
move your hands closer or further away, it changes the capacitance of the circuit. Well, they're using that change in capacitance
Oh, I
to
see.
change the pitch.
Got
And with
it.
the other little antenna, there's two of them, you work it with both hands. The other antenna changes, I believe, the volume.
Yes, that's
so you're
right.
manipulating your left hand,
Sure.
I believe, for volume.
For volume.
And then you're manipulating your
Your
right
right
hand
hand for
closer and
pitch.
further away
Yeah,
from the
for
antenna
pitch, for
to change the
sound.
pitch.
Right.
So in a sense, you're not touching anything.
No.
You're just moving your hands near it.
Right.
And it changes volume
Sure.
and changes pitch.
There you go.
And it gives
you
you that
explained it better than what I could.
that unique sound, which sounds like that was in the Star Trek opening too, wasn't it?
Well, that actually is it. The Star Trek does use the theremin, but they did have somebody singing the very beginning and
Okay.
That's not actually an opera singer singing that.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
enough diversions into
Yeah.
other sci-fi. What's next?
Well, what's next? That is a good question. I would like to talk about what is it? Dazed and Confused. I don't know if you remember that one, but
I don't.
you don't remember it.
What happens?
It's so good. You didn't like it because it made you depressed.
Oh, maybe I was probably playing on my phone with Facebook.
Well,
or
it
something.
was about
So-
it was about 1979, and just these kids. They're graduating from high school, and it's a period piece because they don't really have a sense of what they're going to do.
Okay, we'll cover that.
Yes.
Maybe it'll come back to me during the next
Right,
review.
right.
We've watched a lot.
We have watched a
Since
lot
that.
since this time.
So, we're out here at the Grassy Knoll. We're using the DJI Mini or something like that, wireless microphones, which
Right.
work really great. Elizabeth has hers clipped on her jacket. Somebody's beeping their horn. I've got mine clipped onto my baseball cap. And they do a great job of picking us up and really not picking up too much of the background. But the
Which
whole
is why
time
we
during
like
this
them.
review, we've had car and truck after car and truck going up and down this road,
Right.
which is, less than 100 yards away from us. And tonight
And goats.
feels louder than normal.
And goats.
The goats finally quieted
Yeah,
down.
they
I've not
finally
heard
stopped
them
bleeding,
during this
so
review.
they're not bleating.
So it's sunset here, 2 miles west of Fillmore, Indiana, the area we call the Grassy Knoll. And we thought we filmed one train coming through just as we were
Right.
setting up.
And there's a sunset behind you, but
We
you can't
might
see
get
it.
another train tonight. Let me pan around here and see if you can see
There's
the
a
sunset.
really
In fact, I'm gonna
beautiful sunset behind you, John.
have to
But you can't
pan
see
the
it.
camera up a little bit.
You can't see it.
Get panned around. That's our sunset. The
Well,
sun
you're
has
not seeing
already
what's
set
behind you, but behind you's prettier.
behind me.
Yeah, behind you's
Okay.
prettier.
I can't see the camera now. We've panned so far. Do you see it?
Nope, not just yet. But
Okay.
if you can't get
That's
it
as far around as I can go.
well, if you can't go around any further, then it doesn't matter.
Alrighty. So again, the next review is,
Dazed and Confused.
and we'll see you then.
Later.